So first of all, what we will do is you will see that whenever you are into a GitLab, right? GitLab basically works in a way where first of all you have a group, right? In this group, which group, right, you have. So every group that you see, right, it is divided. Every group, it's a very similar to, for example, you have a team, right? I have a team of, for example, e-commerce, right? So they have a couple of minor projects. They can have some other projects also. They can have some team members. So all the team members can have their respective projects, right? So that's what you can do in this case, right? What you can do is you can create a new group, right? In this group, you can add projects, you can add members. They can have their own custom permissions in this case, right? So suppose I have created a group, right? Here I have, suppose this is a TTA group 1, right? So you will see this is a group which is available. It is private in nature or public. You want to public, then it will be without education, people can access it. Let's keep it private. What is the role that we have? Suppose I have a role of development team lead. I'm a lead, just me. Who will be using it? Suppose I'm using it. If you are using it for team, you can add the members also, okay? And create a group. So this, now I have created a group. This is a group. In this group, you can have subgroups and you can have a project. So you can have one more project. Suppose I have a project name, which basically we are going to do. And here you can basically import a group from a GitLab or GitHub also, as well as Bitbucket also. So I'm going to create a dummy group. So if you see, we have created a TTA group 1. So this is, suppose this is learn GitLab, right? This is what I have. Right? This is the project that we are going to use. And this is a slug, basically a URL that you can basically use. This is a private initialized with readme. Yes, everything is done and we have a repo ready. Now we have a project ready, which basically you can use. Now, when you are into the project, right, you will see there are many other options which are now unlocked, which are basically you can add the project information. So this is now your repository where you are keeping the important code, source code. So here you will keep the source code. Right now in the source code, I have only readme.md. But in future, if you have a API automation, full Maven project will be available here. Before we start, right, couple of things I would recommend you go to preferences, right? Just change few things. If you are comfortable, I am comfortable with containerized theme. You can change the theme. Right, just make sure you render the white space character so that you can see properly how many spaces are there, right? You can add a tab width. I prefer 8. You can use 4, 6, 12. I mean, according to you, which one you are, right? Please don't opt out for WebID. It's great, and click on save change. That's it. Now, one important, if you want to learn about the GitLab, right, which is very important. See, now we have multiple groups projects available, right? This one we are working on. This one I have worked on long back, right? So this one it is, and we are going to open this. Now, here we have only readme available, right? Now, suppose I want this project to be automatically triggered, right? It should be a part of CI, which is continuous integration, and CI/CD. What exactly it is promote? Let me tell you, very important thing, right? So suppose I want to release a product, right? I want to release a repo. Suppose this is a software project that I want to release, right? Consider this scenario. What will happen is, if you put, you will have a repo, right? For example, if suppose I want to release a project, which is, suppose a phone I want to release. Suppose this is a phone I want to release, right? What I will do is I will basically build that project, right? I will basically assemble that project, right? Step 1, step 2, and you will have a multiple steps. Then in the end, you will have a deployment where you will release that project to the customer, right? This is what you are going to do, right? Similarly, in this case also, GitLab works in a similar way. To be honest, GitLab is nothing but it is a Git protocol, GitHub plus Jenkins plus Nexus repository and running your test cases on Docker. Like, it's a mixture of, it's basically a single tool which can basically help you to do multiple things. Now, you don't have to basically wait for the Jenkins to basically execute a particular job or everything, right? Now, GitLab is the only one who will be basically pulling up your repo. He will start executing in the shared runners, and he can also share you the results that you can push to your AWS or anywhere you want to see it, right? So now GitLab will be responsible for everything almost, right? In this case, that's what the advantage of GitLab. That's why people prefer GitLab as compared to GitHub. So GitHub also started this thing where they are pushing the code and they are now running with the GitHub actions and other things, right? It's similar way. GitLab basically has done it before that. So that's why people prefer GitLab right now. So now suppose I have this repo and I want to set up a CI/CD pipeline. If somebody enters something, right? I want to execute something. right? I want to execute a test cases or probably a script, and this is what I want to do, right? So we will set up a CI/CD right here. If you click here, right, you can set up a CI/CD pipeline. Now we will basically writing something called as a file. We are basically now entering a file, which basically this GitLab will basically use this CI file to run your basically code, or you can run your code also. You can do anything you want. It will be the file who's responsible for your overall continuous integration, which means whenever somebody push a code, any branch is basically added, any code is added into your repo, right? Automatically this will be executed by the GitLab, and they will run it on a particular GitLab runner, right? What is a GitLab runner? It's another machine where they will run, it's a Docker machine where they will run your code. For example, suppose I have a API automation of Maven project that I have, right? Automatically this will execute your Maven project. It will run certain steps that you will tell him, and it can pass or fails the pipeline overall. If everything works smooth, then you can publish the result or whatever that you had to the S3 also. That's what we are going to do. So that's what it is, right? So before this, let's delete everything and let me start with the basics one, right? So how basically you can leverage and how you can basically create your simple CI/CD pipeline, right? So till now we have discussed that, okay, Pramod, I have a particular code that I want to basically be automatically triggered or automatically will be added whenever there are certain changes in it, right? So that's what we are going to discuss in this case.